sua dor, beleza e traz pra quem quiser fugir de todo mal e vir brincar de ser feliz, ouvindo a voz que vem falar do amor da flor. Mulher, da dor do amor de quem nem mesmo amor pôde encontrar. Foi num carnaval que alguém chegou falando em ser feliz e rosa chorando depois que ele partiu, vive a esperar pelo carnaval pra sonhar. Ser feliz e rosa chorando depois que ele partiu, vive a esperar pelo carnaval pra sonhar, pra sonhar.
Thank Thor and all the Norse gods for this kind of music written and played by friends of a Swedish painter called Raino Rydelius. Now in his mid-30s with long dark hair and a full beard, Raino is reviving in a very special way the art of painting miniatures, exquisitely detailed and highly colorful miniature paintings on stones and fingernails. Well, we join Raino at Gia's Beauty Salon here in the Swedish capital.
I started to grow up very deep down in the forest. I'm a country boy from the beginning. And I tried really to stick to that for a long time before I got into the big town, Stockholm. And under that time, 68, when I still, were into that movement of people going back to nature. And we rented a house. And we had to pay that rent, I remember. And we had a funny thing going on. This was in a place, it's called Småland in south of Sweden, which is covered with stones everywhere. And the people there for ages has been working with that stone, to clean off the soil and get some growing spots. And they've been working that ass off really bad. And we rented this little house to have, our little farm. And we couldn't pay the rent, so we looked out the window and said, it's a lot of stone out there, isn't it? And we took them in and we painted them. And we even sold these stones to these neighbors that was living around, which is kind of a funny thing. And I got into the miniature painting this way, by this house and these good friends I had at this time. There was a cultural boom in the southeast of Sweden under the 60s, as in the whole world, as you know, and it has developed. in different ways.
Today, you're painting miniatures, and you're using nails. And we're sitting here now in a salon, not in the deep forests of southern Sweden, but in busy Stockholm with Marie Pedersen, who is your customer, if I may use that word for Marie. And Marie, have you ever had a nail painted before?
No, never. I've never seen anything like this before. I hardly ever wear nail polish, so this is a big moment for me.
We should ask the obvious question, what is going to be painted on Marie's nail? Have you two agreed on this?
No?
No, actually we haven't. What do you like to have? I have some pictures here. I have some beautiful tropical ones, because I was living, in Mexico for a time, and I picked up a lot of colors from there. So by the time we are putting the white color on your finger, you can take a look at that.
Oh, I know what I want. A parrot. Is this a parrot?
That's a parrot. You like a parrot?
Yeah, I'd love to have a parrot on my nail.
Yeah.
And Raino, would you explain a bit more in detail how you're preparing Marie's nail for the miniature painting of a parrot?
It's the same system I use when I paint rocks, those small stones for amulets. I cover with white first, as an artist always do. And God, he created the light first. And then I'm going to start to put, a kind of sky, if she likes that. And I'm going to make the trees, and I'm going to make the parrot.
While you're preparing the basic color on which the parrot will be painted, what sort of people have their nails painted with miniature portraits or whatever?
I think it's mostly people that like to show their fingers, or if they have work where they show their hands very much. Bank people, people as the girl we met today that is working in a bar.
Would you call them exhibitionists?
Well, no, not really. Oh, well, it depends.
How about ages?
I think it's ladies around 30. When I was doing this in the States, there was ladies for around 30 years that had their kind of feeling for excitement or different things, adventure with their outlook. I hope it's going to be young ladies. This is kind of fantastic, the African ladies, they used to their face paintings, which told their story if they were married or if they were free for their boys to catch, or if they had all kinds of different things. This painting told the environment around them. And the same thing I'm going to do with the nails. I have 3 ways to do these nails. From designs, or if you like to have a special thing you like very much on your nail, your boyfriend or your personal kind of symbol. If you're working in a special place, you have a special logo or something. And we discuss that, and you can get the sky blue or green or whatever you want. I had a lady that had a blue elephant on her finger, and she wanted to have it blue. I don't know why.
Raino, what are you painting with? What kind of colors and materials?
This is an acrylic base paint I use that is non-toxic for the finger.
And will Marie have this parrot when it's done on her finger forever and ever and ever?
No, it's going to be off in 2 months, I assure you. It's going to fly away while your nail grow. It grows, So the parrot's going to be far down here in a while, about 2 months. And you can paint yourself a little bit here, because it's going to be a half moon here, which isn't painted, of course, because the nail grow.
A half moon, is it conceivable that women can come back for a second take?
Sure. Special price that time.
I keep saying women. How about men? Have you any male customers?
I have. Actually, I had one here in Sweden. One man who wanted to have his nail painted. And he got a Swedish landscape on it. Beautiful green with the blue sky and mountains.
Back to the nail. At the moment, you've covered the entire surface with the white undercoating on which the miniature will be painted, the parrot. And what happens next?
Now we're going to let that dry with this dryer here, so we get a good surface, dry surface to paint on, which is very important. Otherwise, it's going to slip away if it's not dry enough. It's going to be bad construction.
Raino, why paint miniatures on a fingernail?
First of all, my meaning with painting miniatures is to get the miniature as an art form. I really want to get the miniature art to be a separate art form again. It's not many people doing miniatures, that is paintings, real paintings. There is a lot of experimental thing going on, but not real paintings. There was Adolf Hall here in Sweden, and he was very famous too, and he got rich by doing the aristocrats' faces and portraits in France.
But he had a problem. He went to France where he made a lot of money, and then along came the French Revolution, and people started losing their heads, and he fled back to Sweden, if I'm correct.
He died broke.
We're living in a world of miniaturization now with microchips and computers and things. Do you think that's part of it too, why the idea is catching on?
I think so, yeah. It's very handy. You know, I have my little bag and I fly all over the world with it. And I have many followers. I mean, many students that been my students, that is around the world now. There is another thing. I was working as a teacher here in Sweden for a time, and the kids did pick this idea up very quickly. They were perfect. They made small, beautiful things that they never should do on a big sheet of paper because they was tired of that object, that surface kind of. And I brought them a bunch of stones, flat stones, and they started really to concentrate. And they made a lot of new ideas from themselves. They got kicks out of it.
Back to Marie's nail. Raino, I'll let you, the artist, tell us what's happening now.
I'm working hard with the background here I may be fixed with my design I have already made. All paintings are always different. I mean, if I can't make a parrot the same 2 times, of course. So, but I think I'm getting satisfied here. It's yellow in the bottom, and you have a little bit of sky feeling in the top. And it's going to be some clouds here, I think, and some bougainvillea. It's a Mexican beautiful flower that is shiny red or purple, which I like very much to have on my designs.
Is music part of your life, Raino?
It really is. As I said this time when I started to paint down in small land where all the stones were, you know, we listen, you know, to Moody Blues and to Frank Zappa, and we created a lot of nice colors out from that music. I remember Pink Floyd was beautiful to paint from. It's like a musical painting. I admire their music sometimes very much. And some of my friends, as I told you, were musicians, so we did play a lot of music ourselves. And my best friend, he's in the background. He's not outstanding, but he plays music that is just for the heart. And he developed his stones, kind of. And he spread these to his closest friends that hang on to some tunes, you know, and we meet all the time, every month or every year, it doesn't matter, but if there is a, you know, party or something, we come together and we play these tunes.
And his name?
Christer Gustafsson, his name, and the guy that writes the poems, he's called Lars Gunnar Hult.
Allt medan skyarna växla och jorden går runt. Gå vilsen i cirklar och tänker på